didn't hear anything.
He didn't show up for finance
I
committee.
know, and he didn't tell us. Usually he would tell us.
Yeah, he said he.
Calling to order the February 20th Northampton County Council meeting. Mr. Giovanni, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Take a moment of silence. Thank you. Ms. Shafinsky, would you lead us in the roll?
Mr. Brown? Mr.
I'm here.
Corport? Who was that?
Ron.
Okay. Mr. Corpora?
Here.
Mr. Giovanni?
Here.
Mr. Gafredo?
Here.
Mr. Heckman?
Here.
Ms. Keegan? Here. Mr. Kraft?
Here.
Ms. Vargo Hefner? Mr. Warren?
Here.
7 present and 2 on the phone.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the February 6th, 2025 meeting?
So moved.
Second.
I'll make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
There's nobody that's signed in. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak courtesy of the floor? Seeing none. Mr. McClure, do you have a report for us?
So this fell next to parking spot 27 this week. That's underneath. And what this, I think, tells us is that council was very wise to pass the bond last week, and that we should not delay in getting this project moving forward and getting this garage fixed. You should know that while the plans have been in the works for a number of weeks, maybe even stretching to months now, to close the garage, I'm trying to find a way, because it's going to take us a while. We can't get this garage built in a few months. It's going to take a while. I'm trying to come up with a plan, even though we're not going to hesitate, because we can't have everybody get paid ahead. And we can't have any more shares back window. I'm trying to devise a plan where we don't have to shut the whole, so we can just shut pieces of it in advance of us moving forward. But we do have to move with all alacrity to make sure that we get this done the way it's stated. This week I appeared at the Elections Commission. And at the Elections Commission, I suggested 2 things, that they take up a resolution to consider having a early on-demand voting site on the south side of Bethlehem, which should relieve the Lehigh University students' concerns with the long lines. I expressed to the Elections Commission that I did not believe we needed their assent to do that. We've talked many times here about the Home Rule Charter, the Administrative Code, the Election Code, Council's power of the purse, the administration's ability to administer elections. With all that being said, though, I think something like that should be considered by the Elections Commission, and it'll be interesting to see what the Elections Commission determines to help relieve that issue that we saw. And my suggestion was that we start doing it this November as a pilot, and by the time the next presidential race comes along, we should have all that figured out. Parenthetically, we are in contact very preliminarily with Lehigh University, who is, because I don't want to speak for them, I'll just characterize this as being very early discussions, very interested in helping us establish that early on-demand voting site so that their students who aren't sitting in lines for 4 to 5, 6 hours. They are also in the short term, which is a far more immediate issue. They're looking to help us, if they can, relocate the banana factory polling site, because that's no longer an option for us, because the banana factory is going to be torn down. So that's no longer an option for us. So we're very pleased
that we can come up with a solution for future Lehigh students. And we're very pleased that, at least in these very early days, Lehigh seems to be interested in cooperating with us.
You don't
Yes.
mind a question? Thank you, Mr. Gafredo. It's a pilot program you said that we're initially going to be looking at, and could, after this
Well,
pilot.
it's not a pilot. Well,
Okay.
if we open that satellite office,
Yeah.
and other counties do it. Other counties have had
Yeah.
experience with satellite offices, and of course, our elections division can liaise with them to figure out how they went about doing that. And I think they've done it successfully and without it much issue.
My
So
question was, are we going to be able to expand this perhaps down the road?
Oh, well, I mean, baby steps. I mean, let's address the problem
Right.
that we had.
But there is the ability for us to
Right.
do
For
that if we
example,
want.
someone might ask, well, Lafayette had some lines too. Why not have a? Well, there is an early station for that. It's right here. they're just up the hill. They can get here. They might not have a car, but they could get here. So let's see if we could establish one on the south side first, and then move forward from there.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Mr. McClure, I have two questions.
Sure.
The first one, they make for this exact purpose of concrete falling and being, concerned with that, they make a netting system that's very cheap, easy to install, quick. Is that something that you guys are considering? doing?
Public Works is considering all of the various safety measures. I don't know if that one in particular. I will talk to Mr. Amelia and try and figure that out for you, though, and get an
then
answer.
Just touching on what Mr. Warren brought up, south side of Bethlehem, more southern part of the county. Obviously, elections are political, and being at Lehigh would be a very heavy Democratic area. Is there any consideration to having something more in the northern tier of the kind of balance, make sure that everybody has equal access to voting?
Well, so I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. As a matter of fact, as you know, it was my suggestion that we have additional drop boxes in East Allen Township and in Washington Township so that we could serve better.
But we're talking about,
Along with the one in, well, I'm trying to establish the predicate that I'm not opposed to your idea. I think it's a fair idea. We just need a demonstrated need. If there's a demonstrated need for that, of course, I'd be all for putting one in Penargil.
thank you. That's all I have. Anybody else have any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there any old business to discuss? All right, to new business. We have a consideration of county executives' appointments and reappointment resolution, Children and Youth, Families Advisory Board, Conservation District Board, Industrial Development Authority, and the Personnel Appeals Board. Mr. Giovanni, would you introduce the resolution?
Yes, I will. Children and Youth and Family Advisory Board, reappointment, Rosemary Cocker, Easton, PA, 18045, term to expire 3/22/27. Teresa Terry Minor, Penargil, PA, 18072, and Terry A. Thomas, Easton, PA, 1840. All those terms to expire 3/22/27. Conservation District Board, reappointment, Farmer Director Bryant Fulmer, Penargil, PA, 18072, term to expire 12/31/29. Industrial Development Authority, appointment, Jack Weiner, Easton, PA, 18042, his term to expire 3/17/30. Personnel Appeals Board, reappointment, Joseph Capizola, Bangor, PA, 18013, term to expire 2/3/27. Scott Moser, Easton, PA, 18045, term to expire 2/3/27. And Kathleen Wedge, Catasauqua, Pennsylvania, 18032, the same term to expire 0/2/3/27.
Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Giovanni?
Yes.
Mr. Gafredo?
Yes.
Mr. Heckman?
Yes.
Ms. Keegan? Yes. Mr. Kraft?
Yes.
Mr. Warren?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Pecora?
Yes.
Adopted by a vote of 8-0.
Next up, we have the consideration of a personnel request resolution for the Chief Public Defender. Oh, Mr. Giovanni, please
Yeah.
introduce the resolution.
Resolution, it is hereby resolved by Northampton County Council that the position of one part-time chief public defender, pay grade RS slash GR 13/1-A, salary $78,188 in the office of the public defender shall be upgraded to the position of one full-time chief public defender, pay grade CE/GRVI/1-A, salary $107,482, effective February 21, 2025.
Discussion. Call for the vote.
Mr. Giovanni?
Yes.
Mr. Heckman?
Yes.
Ms. Keegan?
Yes.
Mr. Kraft?
Yes.
Mr. Warren?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
No.
Ms. Corpora?
Yes.
Mr. Gafredo?
Yes.
Adopted by a vote of 7 to 1.
Next up, consideration of Administrative Code, Article 8, Contract Resolutions, Computing Technologies, Article 13, Contract Resolutions, Computing Technologies LLC, Two-Way Communications, and Tyler Technologies. Mr. Warren, you presided over the committee
I did.
meeting yesterday. Can you please take those?
Sure. Whereas Northampton County Administrative Code, Article 13, Procurement and Disposition of County Property, Section 13.15, Contracts and Agreements, C2 requires approval of county council for any contract where costs are to be funded with monies outside of the county's general fund, such as those funded through bonded indebtedness. And whereas on February 14, 2025, the Northampton County Council received a request from the county executive for county council to adopt a resolution endorsing a contract with Computing Technologies LLC to provide SIEM and manage cybersecurity services for the Lehigh Valley region, Northampton and Lehigh's 911 centers for a one-year term with a total cost of $422,522 funded with the PEMA Act 12 grant. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved that the Northampton County Council does hereby concur with the recommendations of the county executive as set forth in the attached documentation to approve the contract with Computing Technologies LLC.
Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Warren?
Yes.
Ms. Keegan?
Yes.
Mr. Kraft?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Corpora?
Yes.
Mr. Giovanni?
Yes.
Mr. Gafredo?
Yes.
Mr. Heckman?
Yes.
Adopted by a vote of 8 to 0.
Two-Way Communications, Mr. Warren?
Whereas Northampton County Administrative Code, Article 13, Procurement and Disposition of County Property, Section 13.15, Contracts and Agreements, C2 requires approval of county council for any contract where costs are to be funded with monies outside of the county's general fund, such as those funded through bonded indebtedness. And whereas on February 7th, 2025, the Northampton County Council received a request from the county executive for county council to adopt a resolution endorsing a contract with Two-Way Communications to provide maintenance for the internal and external ESI net systems incurred as part of the joint operations between Lehigh County 911, LC 911, and Northampton County Emergency Management, NCEM, for the term of January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, with a total cost of $167,442.36, funded with the PEMA Act 12 grant. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved that the Northampton County Council does hereby concur with the recommendation of the county executive as set forth in the attached documentation to approve the contract with Two-Way Communications.
Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Warren?
Yes.
Mr. Kraft?
Yes.
Ms. Vargo Hefner?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Corpora?
Yes.
Mr. Giovanni?
Yes.
Mr. Gafredo?
Yes.
Mr. Heckman?
Yes.
Ms. Keegan?
Yes.
Adopted by a vote of 9 to 0.
Tyler Technologies, Mr. Warren.
Whereas Northampton County Administrative Code, Article 13, Procurement and Disposition of County Property, Section 13.15, Contracts and Agreements C2 requires approval of County Council for any contract exceeding $100,000 which was awarded using the competitive negotiation after competitive sealed bidding and non-competitive negotiation source selection methods. For contracts with renewal clauses, the entire potential payout, if all renewal clauses are exercised under the terms of the contract, must be considered when determining if council approval is necessary. And whereas on January 17th, 2025, the Northampton County Council received a request from the county executive for county council to adopt a resolution renewing a contract with Tyler Technologies for IAS World appraisals and tax software for the term of January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2027. Now, therefore, it is hereby resolved that the Northampton County Council does hereby concur with the recommendation of the county executive as set forth in the attached documentation to approve the contract with Tyler Technologies.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Mr. Warren?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo Hefner?
Excuse me.
yes,
Mr. Corpora?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Giovanni?
Yes.
Mr. Gafredo?
Yes.
Mr. Heckman?
Did you say my name?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Ms. Keegan?
yes,
Mr. Kraft?
Yes.
Adopted by a vote of 9-0.
Next up, we have a consideration of a commercial use agreement contract resolution with Twin Rivers Tubing LLC. Mr. Warren, would you introduce the resolution?
Sure thing. Whereas on February 7th, 2025, the Northampton County Council received a request from the county executive for county council to adopt a resolution endorsing a commercial use agreement between the County of Northampton and Twin Rivers Tubing LLC for their limited use of property along the Delaware River for a 5-year term from May to September of each year. Initial season, May 24th, 2025 through September 30th, 2025, pending seasonal weather conditions with $250 per week of use payable to Northampton County. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Northampton County Council does hereby concur with the recommendations of the county executive as set forth in the attached documentation to approve a commercial use agreement with Twin Rivers Tubing LLC.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Ooh, Mr. Heckman.
Yes. I asked at the committee meeting yesterday about liability, and the answer was, well, I'm pretty sure that's the same. I just want to confirm that the county has absolutely no liability for any injuries or other problems during the functioning of this business.
Anybody from the administration like to speak to that?
In the initial agreements, Mr. Heckman, several years ago, when we did it for the first time, there's the indemnity and hold harmless language in the agreement. So the answer to your question is we're fine.
All right, good. I appreciate that because I read the what was there, and there are a couple statements that I thought were added, but apparently not. So fair enough. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Warren?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Corpora?
Yes.
Mr. Giovanni?
Yes.
Mr. Gafredo?
Yes.
Mr. Heckman?
Yes.
Keegan?
yes,
Mr. Kraft?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo Hefner?
yes,
Adopted by a vote of 9-0.
Next up, we have the consideration of the 2025 CCAP Priorities Resolution. Mr. Giovanni, would you introduce the resolution?
Yes, I will. A resolution of the County of Northampton, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, supporting the 2025 priorities of the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. Whereas Pennsylvania counties have selected 3 priority issues that will be focal point of the county's proactive agenda for 2025. And whereas these priorities showcase county's commitment to the core services they provide to the people and to the communities of Pennsylvania. And whereas achieving these 3 county priorities underscores a critical need to redefine reinvigorate and phase the state-county partnership in service delivery. And whereas the top priorities for Pennsylvania counties in 2025 is once again securing 911 surcharge reauthorization and status upgrades. And whereas current 911 funding revenues have not kept pace with the increasing costs of the system, which must support our needs into the future, including planning, development, and support of next-gen 911. And whereas counties are urging swift reauthorization of the 911 surcharge well in advance of its January 31st, 2026 sunset date. And whereas counties are also advocating for discussions among policymakers and stakeholders regarding an increase in the surcharge to address the rising annual costs of the 911 system. These costs include expenses related to personnel, cybersecurity, and the long-term capital projects necessary for the counties to ensure the system's reliability and sustainability. And whereas achieving this priority would ensure all Pennsylvania residents and visitors will continue to have a quick and efficient connection to a 911 operator and services in any situation, regardless of geographic location or time of day. And whereas county's second priority is advocating for adequate county mental health-based funding increased to ensure that residents are able to access the care that they need. And whereas counties provide community-based mental health services, such as community residential programs, family-based support, outpatient care, and crisis intervention, which are all critical to the well-being of our constituents and our communities. And whereas Northampton County has invested in community-based mental health services that coordinate and invest in programs and services that meet the needs and challenges of their local communities. And whereas counties' third priority continues to be seeking critical vote-by-mail reforms, including clarification to continue law surrounding drop boxes and ballot curing, as well as expanded pre-canvassing time and moving back the mail-in ballot application deadline to 15 days before an election. And whereas achieving this priority would give counties needed tools to run fair, secure, and accurate elections, restoring public trust in the election system. Now therefore it be hereby resolved that the Northampton County stands ready to work with the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania and the counties throughout the Commonwealth in support of these priorities for 2025. It is further resolved that these priorities phase the important role Northampton County plays in improving our communities and the well-being of our residents. It is further resolved that the Northampton County calls upon the General Assembly and the administration to work together in a partnership with counties to jointly determine the most effective ways to continue meeting the needs of Pennsylvanians. It is further resolved that the collaboration between county government and the Commonwealth on these priorities will lead to solutions that improve stewardship of taxpayers' dollars and reduce increase local flexibility, and ensure the quality of services counties provide. It is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be sent to the Northampton County Legislative Delegation, to the Governor Josh Shapiro, and to the County Commissioner Association of Pennsylvania.
Thank you. Discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Giovanni?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Purpura?
Yes.
Mr. Gafredo?
Yes.
Mr. Heckman?
Yes.
Ms. Keegan?
Yes.
Mr. Kraft?
Yes.
Ms. Fargo Hefner?
yes,
Mr. Warren?
Yes.
Adopted by a vote of 9-0.
Is there any other new business?
Old business?
New business.
Oh, yeah, I have new business, Mr. Vice
Is
President.
that Ken or Ron?
Ron, I'm sorry.
Go
it's
ahead, Ron.
Yeah, I have the better voice. My question is, when are we going to finally get a working Zoom system, which a night like tonight sort of spotlights where council can actually participate the way other bodies have participated for many years?
Mr. Barron, you care to
And I
answer
don't
that
need
question?
an answer. Well, I don't need the answer tonight because it would be off the cuff. But I would like there to be at the next meeting, or at least a meeting in the near future, where that could be addressed by someone from the administration as to when this is finally going to happen. I mean, it's been years. I quite frankly, I'm confused by the problem that we're having in getting it instituted. So that's all.
And we also had technical issues during our EELU meeting today. So if you could help us with that, Mr. Barron, next meeting, have some answers for that, appreciate it. Anything else, Mr. Heckman?
Oh, no, that was it.
No other new business? Council committee reports. Mr. Giovanni.
Yesterday, we held a personnel meeting for the reappointments of the county executive and also the upgrade to the chief public defender.
Mr. Warren?
Thank you, Mr. Gafredo. The Finance Committee met yesterday to discuss the various contracts that were on tonight's agenda.
Thank you.
The Energy, Environment, and Land Use Committee met today, and we had a presentation from the Penn State Ag Extension regarding the avian flu.
Thank you. Council liaison reports. Council clerk's report.
Nothing.
Council solicitor's report.
Nothing.
If there's anything else, ask for motion for, oh, go ahead, Mr. Warren.
Really quick, it must be stated that we can celebrate the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl from now until next February. It's important. And I think for this community and Eagles fans, let's continue celebrating. Let's not let this die down at all. Thank
Especially
you.
with two Lehigh Valley players on the team.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
go Birds.
Yes.
I can second that. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All right. All in favor?